This scene took place in Syria's northeastern province of Hasaka, the country's major oil and grain producing region. Recently, convoys of tanker trucks can be frequently seen shipping oil from Syria's oil-rich areas to U.S. military bases in neighboring Iraq. The Syrian oil ministry said the U.S. and its mercenaries are stealing an average of 66,000 barrels of oil per day, accounting for about 80% of the country's oil output. In the meantime, Syrians are still facing a gas shortage as drivers have to wait in long lines at gas stations to refuel their cars. Experts said the U.S. has committed violations in Syria since 2014 in two ways, namely plundering resources under the pretext of fighting the Islamic State or IS, and imposing suffocating economic sanctions on this war-torn country.
The United States of America is literally stealing Syrian oil and attempting to destroy the Syrian agricultural production in the eastern region. The food basket of Syria, through damaging the harvests of wheat and stealing it, as well as preventing farmers from planting on their lands, imposing unfair sanctions and displacing them from their homes as a result of the U.S. military operations.
Some have denounced looting and plundering Syrian national resources as one of the ugliest images, which is worsening the local humanitarian crisis.
One of the ugliest images of the U.S. violations of human rights in Syria was stealing the oil derivatives from the national resources in Syria, in addition to using the starvation tactic through stealing agricultural harvest or even burning the harvests or preventing the farmers from having access to their lands, and thus these had posed a violation to human rights. The United States of America wanted to use the starvation tactic and to steal the Syrian resources and thus starving the Syrian people.
Once a food exporter, Syria now faces an acute food shortage. Two-thirds of the Syrian population relies on humanitarian assistance, and over half are food insecure, further exacerbating the humanitarian disaster in the country. On the pretext of anti-terrorism, the U.S. has waged a series of wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and other countries. But as it turned out, anti-terrorism is nothing but an excuse.